Hey friends, welcome to the Purpose Beyond Motherhood podcast. Together, we are using our voices to walk alongside women navigating infertility and motherhood. I'm Holly, and I'm so happy you're tuning in today.
Hey friends, and I'm Nicole. Let me tell you a little bit about 1212 Ministries and why this podcast exists. 1212 Ministries creates a safe space for emotional restoration, physical healing, and spiritual discipleship for women who have or are experiencing infertility. We want to share hope in the hard things and encourage you to be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, and faithful in prayer.
Our heart behind this podcast is to make sure that no woman walks this journey alone.
Welcome to the Purpose Beyond Motherhood Podcast. Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of the Purpose Beyond Motherhood Podcast. We have a special one for you today because my co-host, Holly, is back. Holly.
Here I am. Sorry, I've been gone.
Friend. I missed you.
Missed you too.
I'm glad you're here.
Same. It's been a minute.
Doing okay? I know, it's been a minute.
Doing okay. We're just trucking along. Thanks for your patience, per usual.
I'm glad you're here. And then also, you guys, I know I say special guests, but we for real have a special guest. OG.
Yes.
The one and only. Stephanie Daniels.
That's right.
OG.
Hey, boo. T12.
Hey, friends.
You guys, this is seriously so special because let me tell you about Stephanie. I mean, I feel there's so many things I could say about Stephanie, but I think in regards to 1212, she for real has been such a faithful friend. Yeah. She has been here since day one of my crazy idea of starting this ministry and this God dream. And seriously, at the beginning, Stephanie was our photographer. She was our florist. She decorated. She was our worship leader.
I made charcuterie boards.
She was making charcuterie boards.
Whatever it was.
She was in the videos. I mean, Stephanie did
everything.
Was 1212.
She really was.
100%. 100%. So this is really, really special. And when the podcast was in its very early stages, when it was Shining Light with Nicole, Stephanie was on there too. She was like number 2 episode. We'll put that in the show notes.
I don't know if you should.
I need to listen to that one. I don't think I have.
I think I need to go back and listen to it to see what I said. It's just so interesting to like hear your haughty self like years ago, and then you walk through this humbling journey, and then you're like, dang, how little I knew. You know what I mean? It's interesting how that can happen.
That was sweet. That was a sweet moment.
Wasn't she cute?
Bless her heart.
So cute. Well, Stephanie, we're so glad that you are on the podcast and just would love to hear just some of your story, really what you feel like sharing. It's been a journey for you. And I just definitely have to say, I just love your openness, your vulnerability, just what the Lord has done in and through your life. I really do feel like it's just been such an honor to have like somewhat of a front row seat to, oh my gosh, why am I about to start crying? Wow. A front row seat to what the Lord has been doing in and through your life. And so I love you. I value our friendship and just who you are and who God has created you to be. And just excited for these women to hear your story and just what the Lord is doing.
Well, thank you, friend. Oh, where do I even start? I feel like my life has been one of like, just stay faithful, wait, stay faithful, wait, just stay faithful, keep waiting. But I feel like on the journey of faithfulness, you really do see the Lord move. And it may not always be like you want him to, but I just have learned to like, keep showing up, keep saying yes. And that's kind of how I started with you was, we met at Anthropology and I kind of heard your vision and I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. I'd love to be involved. And so, you had me come play piano and I wasn't very good. But
I don't believe that.
And I still feel like it's the thing where I don't feel like I'm very good, but I keep getting opportunities to come lead worship, and the Lord is like, keep saying yes. So I just keep saying yes. But when we met, I don't even know what year that was. How long have we been friends and knowing each other?
I know. To me, the range is Delaney. And so Delaney is going to be 14. Oh. And I feel like she was like 3, maybe.
Yes.
Wow. 2 or 3.
That tracks. So 11, 12 years. And then I've been married 20 years. And so at that time, yes, probably, I think we were 8 years in. And so from the time, I think I shared this in that original podcast, but from the time Paul and I got married, even before that, I just was like, I was built to be a mother. I want 10 kids. I want 8 natural ones. I want to adopt 2. And I am just going to go into ministry, and I'm going to have this built-in choir, and they are going to sing and lead worship with me. And then my husband's going to get up and teach. Like, these were just the dreams that I had for my life. And I was like, we're going to travel the world and do ministry and just all the things. Like, I felt like the Lord had put so much in my heart that I wanted to do in ministry and with a family. And so, yeah. I think when you and I met, we were in ministry, we were youth directors. And before that, we had right when we got married, we moved to North Carolina to be youth pastors. That did not go over well. We moved back within 5 months. And so our marriage started off with sickness. I was dealing with sickness. It started off with church hurt, which I'd never endured. And then I came back what the heck happened? And so I feel like at that time, the enemy really started to mess with me and my security and just my confidence and just believing okay, God, I don't even know what you're doing, but I was struggling because my dreams had already kind of been dashed in ministry. But my husband and I were like, it's okay. We're just going to come get back on our feet and try and, just do what we feel like the Lord is leading us to do. We'll get normal jobs. What is a normal job? Anyway, and just go to church and take our time with having a family. And so we just start living and kind of put having a family on the back burner, but never really not trying. And so, but we never had any pregnancy scares or anything, in that. And I just feel like this whole time the Lord is just leading us along a path, and we're just trying to be faithful to follow it. And so then I meet you at Anthropology, and I'm like, absolutely, I'll help you. I want to be a mom. That's my dream. And I want to sow into other lives of moms who are struggling to either become mothers or, pursue that dream. So it was an absolute, yes, I want to serve with you. But I never thought that infertility would be my story ever, So, yeah, we just keep living. And probably 2013, 2014, I started dealing with fibroids, and they were significant. And so I had surgery in 2017. They grew back kind of 2018, 2019. They were growing back. My mom got diagnosed with Alzheimer's. That was a shock. Actually, she didn't get diagnosed till 2021. And so just, all along this time, I am really starting to suffer with fibroids and just still believing, okay, God, I know that you can touch my body and heal me in an instant. And I have faith for that. I have faith that you can make my uterus new. You can make all things new. You can, you do the impossible. And so I just was trusting that and just really like, marching along. And so, we get to 2021 and Mom gets diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and I am like, what in the world? Never saw that coming. That was like out of the blue. And so I feel like my family just went into, we are like coping mode, just trying to like help her, make sure she doesn't wander off and get lost somewhere. Like we were just like, what in the world? We ended up putting her in a home. And that was a hard decision. But all of this time, I am just like, Lord, I don't understand what you're doing in my world. Like, we really haven't even started working hard to like have a family. Like we got referred to a specialist early on, but I just was thinking like, God, you're going to heal this. Like that was my whole goal. My whole thought was, Lord, you're going to heal me. I'm asking, I'm believing for healing, trusting you for it. I know this is just going to be like a complete God story, how we, grow our family, and all along. And still I feel it is going to be a God story. But I just was, not really focused on it. And I don't know why I never really like why we never like sat down and said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to a fertility specialist. We're going to get the help we need. And we never pursued having children like that. We just have said, Lord, in your timing, what you want to do, like we are on mission with you. So, that was all kind of like back burner. While Mom was sick, my father-in-law was sick. And in that time, we ended up losing my father-in-law. And then my mom passed in December, the day after Christmas. And so I was like, ooh, Lord, I don't even know. Let me back up a little bit, because in that time, I was trying to do a lot of things to like health-wise help myself with the fibroids and hopefully see them start to shrink. So I tried everything. I went vegan. I, cut wheat, dairy, alcohol, sugar, caffeine. I like started doing womb massage. I just like did so many different things. All along, I'm growing more and more anemic and just really, really struggling. And so the last maybe 2 years, I just got to a point where I'm like telling my husband, I'm like, look at my stomach. Like I'm so uncomfortable. I think 2 years ago, my doctor was like, Stephanie, your uterus is the size of a 32-week pregnancy. We got to get this. We got to take care of it. We got to have surgery. You need to have a hysterectomy. And I'm like, no, like I'm still holding on to a dream. And she really was like, she understood that. But I feel like every year, every time I went to go see my doctor, she was like, Stephanie, we got to do something. And I'm like, I'm waiting on the Lord. And all the while trying to like eat right and do the things. And just, it wasn't happening. So I'd go back and see her the next year and it was just a little bit bigger. And then come to find out, like some of the things that I was doing with my eating, they were feeding the fibroids, causing those to grow. And I feel like I was doing those things as coping mechanisms because we lost my father-in-law. My mom was sick. It was just so many things. And I'm like, Lord, I am trying to just like wait on you and wait on the healing. And I don't know what you're doing. Why is this taking so long? My OB-GYN ends up referring me to a gynecological oncologist. And that's when I was like, whoa, I think this is sounding very crazy at this point. And so I went to see her, and then I thought, this was crazy. She was like, well, we maybe can save the uterus if we do a myomectomy. You've got to go do an MRI. I am deathly afraid of small closed-in spaces. And I was like, okay. So she refers me to go get the imaging done. I show up they've given me some lorazepam or something. I don't even know if that's what it's called. Something. Lorazepam. Maybe that's what it is. To take that to like kind of get me sleepy so I can get into the open MRI. That's just like a big circle, like, and you just lay in between these two things. It's not closed in on the sides. I almost died doing that. And so I tried to get that MRI done 2 times, and each time I couldn't do it. And I was like, Lord, you're going to heal me. Like, I just felt like that was him like intervening in the plans, and he was just going to heal me. And so the healing didn't happen. And I was so defeated because I kept thinking like, maybe if I could have just gotten the MRI, we could have had surgery and like gotten the fibroids removed again, but I just couldn't do it. And there came a point when after my mom had passed and I had time to just kind of like sit and not let like caring for her and checking in on her kind of consume everything. I could kind of, get back to thinking about what's going on with me. I started feeling these incredibly sharp pains just like shooting down my legs. And I was like, that was just the determining factor for me. And so I went back to see the oncologist, and she was like, girl, we should have done this last year, because a year had gone on, had transpired since I had tried the MRIs. So she was like, you should have done this last year. Like, it's even bigger. So I was walking around looking very pregnant, but I was not. It was just my uterus was filled with fibroids. I was tremendously uncomfortable, having leg pain, joint pain, just all the things. And I feel like that's when I was just like, Lord, I'm just going to surrender this dream to you. And so I started counseling with a pastor at our church, because I'm like, look, I feel like the Lord is leading me to this place. I don't understand how he could be, because why would he make me lay down a dream or something that I have been believing for my whole life? Like, I don't understand that, but this is my only option. And so I was like, I need to talk this out so I'm not met on the other side of this with like compounded grief and just disappointment and bitterness and anger and all the things. So I met with her a few times, and I feel like what became apparent was, working, you guys, I told you I met Nicole working at Anthropology. That really developed a love in me for shopping. So what I learned was that just in my life, a lot of the time I would see people that had something I wanted, and I would be like, ooh, I'm going to have that, or we're going to have that. We're going to have that too, just in different, and maybe that was coveting. But also just, I had seen the Lord answer some prayers that I'd had before when I was like, Lord, when I get married, I don't want to change my last name. I want a golden doodle, Lord. I really want a dog. These different things, the Lord has like answered these things and brought them into my life, the home we live in. And so I just knew that kids were next. And, so I would just kind of cherry pick from other people's lives. I want to see this. I want to do this. And, I'm just declaring that I'm going to have that. And kids were definitely one of those things that I'm like, okay, we're going to have 2.5 kids and move along in life. And it didn't happen. And I feel like the Lord was like, Stephanie, you were trying to control the outcome. You were writing the story. And I just want to remind you that I'm the one writing your story. And so I had to have a seat really quick and tell him, Lord, I'm sorry. And I'm just giving you back the pen so you can write out what you want, because I want what you want over what I want. So that led me to just schedule the hysterectomy. So Mother's Day weekend this year, I had my surgery, actually the day after Mother's Day. And that was just a really hard one for me, just losing mom and then giving up my dream of, carrying my own child, after Mother's Day. It was rough. But I think what has been really precious in this time is the community that I have that has just come alongside and surrounded us in this time. And I feel like they loved me so well. And the Lord knew that I needed that. And, before the Saturday before my surgery, I had several friends come over, and this was per my counselor, have friends come over, and we just want to encourage you and love on you and just speak to the heart of who you are as you get ready to go into this surgery. And so that was really precious time. And I feel like the Lord, that weekend was just about surrendering, I think. Just, saying, God, even though this is so hard and not what I want and not what I would ever choose, I still love you. I still trust you, and you're still so good, and you're still so worthy of my praise.
Yes.
I feel like that weekend was the moment that I was like, God, still, even though he slays me, yet will I trust him, yet will I praise him. And so, this has just been a space where I've just had to say, God, I can surrender these pieces to you. I can trust the story that you're writing. You never guaranteed, you never promised me children. You never told me this was going to be easy, but I can trust and know that you are doing a deeper and a bigger work in me than just giving me kids. And I read a book while I was in my recovery, and it's called Resurrection Year. And I don't remember the name of the author. His last name is Sheridan, but is it? I don't know. But the book is called Resurrection Year. And so he and his wife really struggled to conceive. They never did, actually. And so they just kind of laid down that dream. And in his time of just kind of processing that and sitting with the Lord, he had a friend sit down and meet with him and just say, where there is death, there's resurrection. And so they felt like not being able to conceive and laying that dream down was the death, but they did feel, and I have felt this. I felt it's like the Lord turned your head to say, hey, I know you're focused on that, but I want you to see what's over here. I want you to see what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
And so he did. He brought a lot of life and helped them to they ended up moving to another place, and they saw other dreams that they had put on a shelf come to life. And so I just feel like that is what the Lord has been doing with me, is letting other things kind of come alive in me. And he's just met me with a lot of grace and a lot of contentment and peace, where I thought I'm going to be destroyed on the other side of this decision to have this hysterectomy. No, the Lord has just been so kind. And I feel like he has just allowed hope to continue to grow in my heart. And he's, letting me know he's not done with me. So that's the journey we've been walking. I hope that made sense. But that's what we have been coming out of, and I am 10, 11 weeks out from having surgery. And so, yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so many things I want to ask you, but this just popped in my brain, so I'm going to go with it. If you could talk to Stephanie 5 years ago, is there anything that you wish you could have told, any piece of encouragement that like would have been helpful, or 10, whenever you really started to feel this shift of like, I need to have a hysterectomy. I need, like, for my body so I can like be healthy, remain with my husband, all of those things. What is there anything that you're like, I wish I don't know, like any nugget that you wish you would have had? Or is it just that banner of surrender?
I think it's that. I think it's, one of the things my husband told me when I kept asking him, I was like, are you sure you're okay if I have this surgery? And he was like, look, I didn't marry our children. I married you.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
good.
I think I would just encourage her and just, remind her that your husband is here for you. He's not here for anyone or anything else.
Yeah.
And, so like take that pressure off.
Yeah.
I would just encourage her to remember that God is writing your story and you can't control the outcomes, but just trust him that he's good. Yeah. He's never failed you. And, he's always taken care of you. So he's not going to leave you begging for bread. Yeah. He's so kind. And so I would hug her.
Yes.
She was doing so much, like carrying so much, and all because she just was like trying to make something happen that she had no control over.
Yes.
So I would just love on her and just like remind her that God is in control and he loves you, and it's okay to give this to him, even though it doesn't look like what you thought. Like, go ahead and just trust him with it.
Yes.
So yeah,
that's what I feel like there is such a false sense of responsibility that so many women navigating infertility, fibroids put on themselves of like, no, like I need to make this happen.
Yeah.
When I know the enemy has a field day with that way of thinking, because it boxes you in and puts you in such a corner of, oh, if I can't make this, if I can't will this, if I can't go to enough doctors to make this work for me. I think just identifying that trap and calling it out. And because I think the enemy packages it differently, but it's always that same like, oh, like you should, like, how can you make this work? Or you should have been able to fix this, or just the blame and the shame and all of the things that we know are not from the Lord. Right. But I think that the women watching you, not that I've watched it closely, but from a distance, and we've had a few conversations here and there along the way. But I think there is such a call on your life for so many things that oftentimes I feel like the enemy almost tries to pinpoint the women that he knows are the biggest threat. And not that I think that's right or fair in any way, but I think that the Lord knows the women that are listening and so in tune to him. To just hold them in a place where it makes no sense to the world standards, while you would continue to be like, he's still good. Yeah. He's still holding me. I think that's such a beautiful picture of what we're called to do. Yeah. But I think there's a strength within you that truly is only from the Lord. I don't know. I don't know. That even makes
so
sense.
Sweet.
Yes. Yeah. No, that was beautiful, Holly.
That's very sweet. I feel like, Nicole was at my house when I had these women over, and just before that, we had just come out of this women's conference, and, I had to go check in for my surgery before the conference started. So I went and did my check-in. They put my bracelet on, and then I went to the church. And I think that first night the conference started out, and our worship leader was like,
oh, yeah.
I just feel like God wants to heal women of infertility. And I had already made, I was like, my surgery is scheduled. And it was such a, this whole space, these 3 days, I was like, Lord, I don't understand. I feel like you are dangling this carrot, you are, and not that he's dangling a carrot, but just why is this continue to be before me? I've had faith. I've waited 13 years for healing, and you have not done it. And I'm moving forward. I'm moving on. And I'm like, but also I was like, Lord, if you want to heal me in these 3 days, do it. I'm still open. I'm still very ready for you to do that. And it was, our worship leader said that in this worshipful transition kind of time. And then another pastor came up, and she was transitioning from this moment. And she was like, I feel like the Lord gave me this scripture to share, but I really don't want to share it. And I'm so glad she did. And I don't even remember what it was. It was in Psalm 34 something, I think. In the 30s.
I will bless the Lord at all times, right?
I think it was that. I think it was that one. Yes. And she lost her husband. He was our pastor for years, and he passed away. And she said that scripture transitioning out of this moment where God wants to heal women of infertility. And I just broke. And I was like, these people looking at me on the stage probably think, what the heck is she going through? But I'm like, I have already resolved in my mind where I'm going and what's happening. Yeah. And the Lord was like, Stephanie, this word is for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, your praise will continually be in my mouth. She talked about we lost the leader of our home, and we were broken. We did not know what we were going to do, but she said, God, I'm still going to continue to praise you. And so I felt like the Lord was saying, Stephanie, that's a word for you.
Yes.
You will continue to praise me.
Amen.
And you're going to see me work in your life. And so, I just walked through that weekend, and it was so crazy because I'm up there, I'm doing worship and stuff. And I got this big orange hospital bracelet on, and I'm like, oh gosh, trying to cover it up. But I felt like it was just a testimony. This is where I'm at, y'all. I'm checking for surgery for Monday, and God is still good. Yes. And I know he's with me, and he just led me in so much peace. And so, I just am like, okay, Lord, I'm going to take a step back and let you do what you want to do. And I'm just going to trust the process.
Yes. That's the ability of people, of believers, to be able to hold two things, like the grief and the joy at one time, which sometimes I'm like, I don't want to do that. Nobody wants to do that.
Nobody wants to.
But holding on to the grief and the hope, you can hold those things simultaneously.
Yeah.
I think the world is so oh no, own your truth, and it can only be one. I'm like, no,
it can be both.
Yes, you can.
And I didn't understand that. It's funny because people would say, oh, grief and joy can coexist, and, two things can be true. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Right. And then it wasn't until all the stuff with my mom that that really became true for me. I can have my fun moments, but the really hard is going on, there's a big elephant in the room.
Yeah.
And I can be at a party and the elephant's always with me,
right?
But it's just yes, I can be laughing with a friend at coffee, but still I'm ready to cry in the next sentence. It just, yeah, that has, and it's okay. It's okay to feel, because I feel like I didn't understand this either, but I didn't understand how God could step into your suffering and meet you there.
It's so good.
And so it's that, like, I can be in the lowest of lows, but if I just like set aside some time to just like get with the Lord, like he will meet me there and just wash me in worship, wash me with his word. And I'm like, okay, I can take a few more steps, you know, but it is that like he meets you in the hard and the heavy and with his kindness and with refreshing, you know?
Yes.
And I don't know. I don't know if there's mamas out there or women who do find their self just like super just striving, trying, like, you know, I don't know. I just am like, having a child is not like the end all be all. And it's not what makes you you.
No.
Yes.
And life can still be hard once you have a child, you know, but I just, to me, I think the thing that we need to be just like running toward is Jesus.
It's good.
Knowing him, because I mean, he's who we're going to spend eternity with. You know what I mean? It's like, there's so much that can make you happy here in the world, but it's like everything is fleeting, you know, and Jesus is the only one that can satisfy our deepest needs and desires. And so I would just encourage somebody to lean into that.
It's good.
In your life, and surround yourself with strong, solid community that can like walk you through those things and keep pointing you to the Lord.
That's good. That's so good. I know I'm supposed to close us and I would just keep talking for 3 hours.
I know. I was going to say that. I was like,
sorry, I was like, how long is this?
Talking to you.
I know. I'm like, maybe we just need another one soon.
I know. We have to have a part 2 or something.
Yes. There's just, yes. I feel like there's so many different ways that this will bless someone. But I know being in ministry has probably also, that could be a whole nother podcast. Just being in ministry and walking through this actually is something I think we should talk about. Sidebar. But just thank you for your authenticity. Yeah. Thank you for sharing with such vulnerability what you've navigated, because I cannot imagine that it's been easy in any way. But there's someone that definitely needs to hear all of this. So thank you.
Yes, thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Like, what a gift. Nicole, I know we would need to mention Refined. So I'm going to let you do that.
Okay. Friends, Refined, October 16th. So we're going to be in person in Frisco, Texas, but also we will have an amazing online experience for you as well. So even if you're not in the DFW area, we would love to see you online at Refined. So October 16th, tickets are on sale, and we can't wait to see you and just walk alongside you at Refined. That's it.
We love you.
Yeah, I know. Thanks for joining us, friends, on the Purpose Beyond Motherhood podcast.
Sorry, Nicole. You always end up closing us. Many blessings.